Keep watching and learn how I grew this 20 USD account to over 250 USD trading VIX 10S and VIX 100 index. Okay, so there's the 20 USD that was deposited, and we start off on the weekly time frame. Now, I want you to notice the two equal lows that was created, and of course they contain sell side liquidity, and we know that price has to head towards the sell side liquidity. Now, how did price reach these, or how did price go down to form the two equal lows? It hit the rejection block above, drop down to break structure below that small low, and then it continued again to drop down further. So it returned back inside the range, and then it continued to drop down to sort of break structure below the low. Now, what happened within the range is it first filled the fair value gap, and after it filled the fair value gap, of course, we see that it hit the mitigation block. So after it hit the mitigation block, it also hit the daily order block as well. Now we're going to come back to what happened inside right there. So what we think price has to do is to return. What it's currently doing is returning back inside the range, and we have to continue to sell with it. So right there where it hit the daily order block, you see the daily order block has a wick. Like that week, we're going to focus on that level. So what happened at that level is price did a stop hunt, and it hunted the stops above that high, and then it gave us a change of character, or BOS, or a confirmation that it wants to drop down. Now it ended up breaking structure again like we had identified, and it's now currently returning back into the range. So now it's at the daily bearish order block, so we want to sell within that bearish order block, and of course we can see it's respecting the body of this bearish order block. So how did price approach that level, and what is it going to do? That's what we're going to focus on the 4-hour chart. Now on the 4-hour, we can see that price raided the stops above that high, and after it raided the stops, it filled the imbalance within the range, and after it fills the imbalance, of course it hit our 4-hour order block, and you can see that 4-hour order block is in line with the mitigation block. Now the mitigation block can be a smaller time frame mitigation block. Yeah, it is a smaller time frame mitigation block. That's why I'm typing. Now we have to also focus on the level where it's reacted off of, same as we focused on the daily. Now it did a stop hunt again, so it did a stop hunt, it ran the stops, gave us a change of character, or a BOS below the low, returned back into that small consolidation and respected a 30-minute order block, and it kept on dropping down. Now what it did is it did a stop hunt right before it dropped down, and then it continued to break structure below the low. Now I'm identifying stop hunts because I'm going to tell you the reason why. Now it went back to respect the breaker block, and then continued to drop down to break structure below there. Now it's returning back, and it's going to respect the 30-minute order block. Now why that 30-minute order block is the reason why I told you about the stopper. Now because price grabbed or did a stop hunt or hunted the stop above there, it's going to make sure that after it breaks the low and breaks another low, that high that it created is a protected high, so it's going to respect the 15-minute order block. For sure, we're sure that it's going to have to respect, maybe for a short amount of time, or it's going to continue dropping down. So above all, it's going to be respecting the 4-hour bearish order block on the 4-hour chart on a higher time frame. So we are just going to be entering this at market execution. I couldn't keep on going down further into the smaller time frame for because we're late. I could have actually captured it above there, but we're late, and I found this trade and it was a suit setup. I just wanted to grow this account from 20 to a suitable amount so that we continue to grow the account. Now here I started entering at market execution. I did not decide to place sell limit like I told you, so I think I placed about a small amount just to grow the account to a better profit or a balance, and you guys will see what price did afterwards. Now this is afterwards, price dropped down immediately. I think we had an hour or two right from our position, and honestly this trade, it was a good trade, but I didn't want to hold for a long time. It's like I gained it from experience, you know, when you know like this trade will not hold for a long time. So I just decided, you know what, 60 USD is okay. I grow it from 20 to 60, it's okay, we'll find another trade. So I decided to close right there, and it indeed kept on shooting up a bit, but then it ended up dropping downwards. So we moved to VIX 100 index. Now continuing with the 62 USD we have in our balance right now, we start off on the weekly chart. Now on the weekly, we can see that price raided that high or did a break of structure above that high, and then it went to fill that fair value gap. It perfectly rebalanced that fair value gap, which is within the weekly bearish order block. So of course the weekly bearish order block is a bit weaky, but we expect price to continue dropping down from there. Now I want you guys to cleanly like see how price respected or completely rebalanced, and then it dropped afterwards. Now right now price is dropping down and it's within the daily bearish order block, so we expect it to continue dropping down, and it broke structure. You can see that it closed below there. Now we expect it to return back up and then continue dropping downwards after it hit the daily bearish order block, like the week or the body of the daily bearish order block. Now you can see right now price is forming sort of like a bearish immediate rebalance. Now the reason it was selling is also because it's going to form that bearish immediate rebalance. Now if we zoom in on the 4-hour chart, you're going to see why it's going to make sense. Now we're going to be focusing within that range, and we're going to sort of form our own market structure within that 4-hour. Now within the range, price wiped that high, and it went again to wipe that other high, the high it created while it wiped. Now the reason price rejected, or you can see it's wiki or it was wiping, or is because of that 1-hour order block. So price could not sort of close above those highs, because when they reach those highs they get rejected due to the 1-hour order block. Now price formed another leg where it did a stop hunt above there, and then after it did a stop hunt, it sort of filled the fair value gap, and after it filled the fair value gap, you can see on your left it respected the 1-hour breaker block. So this 1-hour breaker block made it create another leg where it now dropped down again to break structure, and it continued. So we want to sell within that second leg. Now it ended up breaking structure on the main low. You see the break of structure below the main low. After it broke structure there, it met the 4-hour bullish order block, which has a fair value gap right above it. So price has to sort of respect these two bullish interest points. Now after they respect, like while they respect it, so that means they're going to return, they're going to force price back into the range, and it has to continue dropping down. Do you get why that fair value gap and that 4-hour bullish order block is important? So within the range there is the imbalance, and after price fills that imbalance, it's going to hit the mitigation block on the 4-hour, and right above the mitigation block you can see that it's going to also be met with the 4-hour bearish order block. So price is going to return back into the range and then respect all these interest points to drop down. That's how simple it is. So this is sort of our sell. It's as simple as that. That's how we are going to be selling. Now I'm going to also show you the buy, why I want to buy. So yes, of course price is going to also respect that 1-hour order block. That's where we're going to be selling, within that 1-hour bearish order block. So now that you see, or you have seen my sell perspective, I want you to see my buy perspective. Now price is going to buy because price sort of stop hand, it grabbed liquidity above there and did a wipe again below the low. Now remember, it's reacting at a 4-hour bullish order block, and it gave us a change of character above that high, which shows that it was to shoot up and of course it further confirmed by breaking structure above that main high or that higher high. Now we are sure that it has to buy, and where we want to buy is after price fills the imbalance and it hit our 30-minute order block. So that's where I want to buy it. And of course there's a 30-minute breaker block. I'm not sure where to buy right now, because if I pull out my Fibonacci and check where the equilibrium is it is right at the 30-minute breaker block. So I'm not sure where to buy, but I'm just going to place my buy at the 30-minute order block to be safe, because if price continues dropping downwards, it might cut us out and then shoot up. Now I wanted to place, I think at this time, I ended up placing at the 30-minute again, the 30-minute order block again, because it's where I could place on VIX 100 index, because you know, the distance between the current price, or where price is currently at, and where I could place my buy, there has to be a distance right there. It's a bit far. It's not like, it's not close. So that's where I was forced to place my buy positions. I placed about 5. Remember, VIX 100 index is strong, so we will be buying, and after we feel that imbalance and we reach the 1 hour order block, we will exit, and immediately afterwards we will again place the sell positions from there. So I'll see you guys after some hours. Okay, after some hours, I think an hour or 2 had passed, we were missed. I should have entered at the breaker block, because the price went our way. It bought right at the breaker block, and I was looking at it, I was like, maybe it's going to wipe and then dip down to the 30-minute OB, and then we buy from there. So yeah, we missed our buy, but we have to capture the sell. So I started placing my sell positions right there, and I think I placed about 5 again. And if you look closely again, you can see that we are at the 1 hour rejection. So I think we went into the premium of premier right there. It was a sweet place to sell at, and I was lucky enough to have captured to have opened my MT5 right at that moment. So we are going to be selling to the 4 hour order block right there, and we will see what happens afterwards. Now afterwards, we were in blue. We were from 60 something to 250. Right now we're in 260, and it had reached our 4 hour bullish order block, the one I talked about. And at this point I was frustrated, because we could have made this 200 USD on our move up, and then we could have made maybe 4 times more on the way down. So yeah, right there I was super frustrated. I just wanted to close. I didn't want to hold for a long time, so I decided to close at 260. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't.